Oh, nice. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't get much better. So if it's not good, it's never going to be good. he was he was pushing me for limits. I'm like, dude, what do you want me to do? He's like, I need to know the limits. I'm like, dude, these places are not real thrilled with big money on these off the wall sports. Yeah. I had to do it in small pieces last night. I'm just putting in small pieces, you know? I'm like, I'll be damned if you're getting the best of the line before I do. I'm going first. Crazy.
Each and every Monday is $9 Monday at both WagerTalk.com and
Yeah.
SportsMemo.com. When all daily
Ain't like
picks
walking into
packages are priced
Bridgeport in
at
the
only
old days.
$9, including 5%
Just
best bets, normally
letting
priced
loose.
at $35. As an added bonus, any picks packages loaded early for Overnight Tuesday or action during the week will also be priced at $9 until midnight on Monday. So make sure to take advantage of getting these $25 and $35 picks for only $9 before the clock strikes 12 and they return to regular price.
Hey guys, welcome in on a very happy, I don't know even what the hell today is. I think it's Tuesday, it's Wednesday, it's Monday. There's a whole lot of basketball on our minds right now. I do know that. We've got some games in the NBA that we are going to get you caught up on. In fact, 3 that we like more than anything else. And I can't think of 3 guys better to break these games down with today in the association. Then the Monday crew is Andy Lang in the house, as is Tony Mejia and Mr. Rob Vino, ready to go and talk some association, the craziness and the madness that is college hoop. That can wait. We got plenty of NBA action. A nice card here tonight. And Andy, coming into this Monday, $9 Monday, in fact, best bets, $9 at WagerTalk.com. What do you got on tap for us here tonight, man?
Got a really good 5% play up at wagertalk.com. Like you said, only $9. So we got our best bet, and then we have 2 plays attached to it. Really like the card tonight. There's some games I am not really big fans of. I'm not a big fan of, but a lot of games that I am. And I think the books got a couple of numbers pretty wrong. It'll be interesting to see if I'm right about this, but I feel really, really good about the 5% and the other 2 plays. Obviously, you're not going to put up a play if you don't feel good about it, but it's kind of one of those, like, you're like, wow, that's the number. Oh, I'll definitely take that one. So really excited.
Mm-hmm.
We got some good spots that we're ready to pounce on and increase those bankrolls.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, it's an interesting card here tonight. And Tony Mejia, when you're not pulling your hair out with 9,000 college games, I know you've been focusing on the NBA. So talk to us. What do you got on $9 Monday here at Wager Talk?
Yeah, I found time in between my bracket dissection to release a 4% play for tonight.
Woo!
So that is up and available, and we'll add to the card. Some attractive matchups: Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic going at it to decide the MVP tonight on national TV. That'll be fun. Haven't dived into that one yet, but I'm sure we will on the show. And I'll see what I can come up with for clients. And then other games. Obviously, we got the Bulls at Kings, Bucks and Jazz play tonight. Kobe Bryant, LeBron James and the Lakers playing the Raptors, trying to get back on track. So plenty of offerings tonight.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. But it was nice of you to say try. Talk to me, Rob Vino. What is going on, man? Happy Monday. What do you got locked and loaded tonight for us at WagerTalk?
Yeah, it was nice in the NBA last night, Joe. 5-1 spot, which was much needed at the time that it happened. So we'll take it. Today, up and available, $9 Monday, as everybody has mentioned. 4 plays out of the association, won a 4% best bet. Even an early Tuesday NIT best bet now up and available, WagerTalk.com. So you can catch that for $9 all the way up until midnight East, 9 o'clock Pacific. Want to get in on tomorrow's college basketball action? It's up there now, WagerTalk.com.
Look at Vino getting all kinky, throwing out a little NIT action here. All right, well then, you know what? I'll see your NIT with a contrarian play of the day. And hold your nose, because this is going to smell like ass, but it's got to be done, people, as we are looking at the Portland Trailblazers. 13.5. Oh, wow, it's coming down. 13.5 right now, taking on the Atlanta Falcons. The same Atlanta Falcons team, by the way, that was also a 2-touchdown favorite last night against the Indiana Pacers and almost blew it. And yet here they are laying double digits again against the Trailblazers. I don't remember the last time Atlanta actually covered a game. I think their numbers are just gross. Why are we continuing to price this team? 1-6 against the number in their last 7. Talk to me, Andy Lang. The contrarian gods are done with laying double digits with the Atlanta Hawks. What do you think about the Trailblazers tonight?
Well, I think you're going to have a hard time figuring out this Portland team. They scored 127 against Washington. And the previous game, their starters combined to score 28 points in an entire NBA game. So that makes it pretty difficult for me to have a strong opinion on Portland. Shout out to my Indiana Pacers. Last night was just the perfect scenario. They put on a good show. They score 128 and they lose. My heart is just, it's the best case scenario. I love watching this team, and I love watching them keeping it close. And at the end, here you go, Atlanta. Here's the win. So I do have an intriguing prop on this one. And this one I think deserves some attention. Trae Young under 43.5 points, rebounds, and assists. You would always think, well, Trae Young over against Portland. He's struggled on these second legs of back-to-backs. His last 5 on the second legs, he has not gotten over this total. He had to use a lot of energy last night. He had a great stat game, and this could be a spot where if Portland lays an egg early, which they're more than capable of, he could take it a little bit easy and become a lot more of the assist Trae Young as opposed to trying to go for 30 or 40 points. If they don't need Trae Young to win this game, you could see less minutes. I think this number is way too inflated on the second leg of a back-to-back. This is by far my favorite one, and I have played this myself.
All right, good stuff there. Talk to me here, Tony Mejia. I mean, what are we doing? Are we laying 2 touchdowns with Atlanta? Are you kidding? Talk to me here. What do you think?
Well, I watched that Washington-Portland game because somebody had to. And I was starting to see. I mean, look, the Wizards. I guess they just came in there expecting to win. From the night before where they were at in LA and Kyle Kuzma doing his thing, but they had no heart in that game against Portland, no energy. And although the Blazers are barely an NBA team right now, given the roster, they still made them pay for it. Josh Hart had a fantastic first half. He sets the tone. But I mean, he was having a really productive season in New Orleans. And, they knew how to utilize him. In Portland, he's more of a catch and shoot guy, which isn't really his game. So I can't, in all good faith, recommend taking points with the Blazers. They're just, not an NBA team. There are guys on that roster that wouldn't even make the back end of a roster normally. But, given all the injuries that the Blazers are dealing with and the fact that they're in full tank mode, this is what you get. No Anthony Simons again tonight. So again, it's hard as a catalyst, and Trendon Watford, who's been playing much better of late. Still no Yusuf Nurkic. They're out. So to to me, it's a complete pass because I don't trust the Hawks either. As you said, laying a big number. No John Collins tonight for them, so this is a game that will very easily not make my final rankings. But for just to be on the contrarian God's side, considering that I'm typically not, we'll go ahead and ride with the Blazers. Sure.
So you're saying there's a chance. All right, Rob Vino, talk to us here, Vino. More of a fade, I guess, from the contrarian gods of Atlanta than support of Portland here. But, God, that was ugly last night. What do you think here about the Portland Trailblazers, 2 touchdowns?
Yeah, race off to that big first half and then coast the rest of the way. I don't know if it was in anticipation of a back-to-back situation or what it was, but I believe the Hawks had like 77 at halftime last night. And then,
yeah,
as you guys mentioned, barely get by in the end. So, I don't know necessarily why you have to rest when you have Portland on deck, but I guess so. It's not only John Collins tonight, it's Danilo Gallinari as well, which makes Atlanta extremely small across the front line. I guess DeAndre Hunter becomes your power forward. Bogdanovich probably slips into a small forward spot here. And then it looks like a track meet, Joe, from there. Portland plays with pace. They don't necessarily make shots, but they play with pace, as does Atlanta. And I think we see these inflated prices. Hey, listen, it's the old saying that, they got to win, right? And we always say just because they have to win doesn't mean they'll cover or even win. And the Hawks are in that situation in the number 9 hole in the East where wins are at a premium right now. They've got a team they should handle here tonight. And Charlotte also has a team they should handle tonight. So both of those two, 9 and 10, looking to make up a little ground. I find it real hard to back Portland in any situation at this point in time. But as has been mentioned here, all 3 of you guys, little afraid of Atlanta letting off the throttle. And Portland does give effort. I mean, it's hard to take a crooked shooting team plus points. But I guess in this instance, you know what, maybe we will just because of the Atlanta injuries and maybe their tendency to let off the gas. I don't know. It's a lousy game, but we'll side with Portland plus the points.
Well, they both come in on winning streaks. I'll just say that right now. All right, guys, our contrarian play of the day is, oh, hell no, we ain't laying 13.5 with the Atlanta Hawks. So we're going to back the Portland Trailblazers plus 2 touchdowns. All right, we do have a featured game of the night, and should be a good one for as bad as a contrarian game is going to be. Let's talk a little bit about the Denver Nuggets taking on the Philadelphia 76ers. And the Sixers, all puppy dogs and rainbows as soon as they get James Harden for a week or so. But now a dose of reality. The James Harden of real shows up the last couple of games. And next thing you know, they're in overtime against Orlando. What in the hell? Well, now they got to take on Jokic and company here tonight. The number opened at 5. That was bet obviously down to 3 now, 3.5. So, Andy, start us off here, man. What are you looking at from a prop betting perspective in this one?
Well, the Nuggets are really interesting, and Jokic certainly is putting on an MVP performance stat-wise. The last 5 games, he's led them in points and rebounds and assists. Like, you wonder at some point if he's like, guys, anyone? he had a game where he had 9 assists and nobody else had more than 2. So, unfortunately, I will not be betting on Jokic for any of his props. A couple I do like. Tyrese Maxey, he had his big breakout. He had 4 big breakout games, and now he's in a slump. So I'm taking his PRA under 22.5. He's gone under 4 straight games. He's only scored 10 and 4 points the last 2 games. That's not going to get it done. So he had come off those big games, and now he's just not shooting the ball well. He's not getting a lot of shot attempts. So sneaky one here to take a look at. Jeff Green, over 14.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Philadelphia's been getting torched at the power forward position. They're coming off of games where DeMar DeRozan, Durant, and last night Wendell Carter Jr. went off 23, 12, and 2. I actually played him over his points, rebounds, and assists because of their struggles guarding power forwards. That was an easy cash. And Jeff Green has gone over this total in 3 straight games. I think the books have this really, really low. So there's value on Jeff Green, who's going to be being guarded by Tobias Harris. So I love the matchup for Green. 14.5 is too low. That's probably my favorite prop in this game, actually.
All right, good stuff there. Should be an interesting one here, Tony Mejia. How are you leaning with these two big-time MVPs going at one another?
Well, I would think that Philadelphia is going to be interested in this game, whereas they probably weren't against Orlando last night. And then you figure that James Harden will get his confidence back because Kyrie Irving took his heart in that game earlier in the week against the Nets that they lost 129-100. But for me, I think this is a trouble spot for Denver, who hasn't lost a road game since before the All-Star break, but they really haven't played many. Their last 3 road games are against the Kings, obviously the depleted Sacramento squad. They played at Portland to close out February, and before that they were at the Kings again. So they do have one solid win in their last 5 at the Warriors. They squeaked by 117-116 in that game. But really, this is a team that's been getting by playing at home, and now they're going to be in Philly, which is always a tough place to play. So from that standpoint, I think if we don't see the best effort out of Embiid and the 76ers tonight, we'll really have to start worrying about them. So to me, it's Philadelphia or pass tonight.
Yeah, I guess do we know, Rob? Aaron Gordon, is he going to miss again here? Is he not? Harden logged 44 minutes yesterday. What happened to his hamstring? What do you think we're going to get here tonight with these two?
Yeah, Joe, I'll say this. If the Sixers, as players, are interested tonight and weren't interested last night, then I'll tell you who was interested, and that's Doc Rivers, because he only played 6 guys, period, in an overtime game against the Orlando Magic. It's as if that was the 7th game of the finals, the way he ran those guys into the ground. Joel Embiid, 41 minutes, 17 seconds. James Harden, 44 minutes, 4 seconds. Tobias Harris, 43 minutes, 45 seconds. Tyrese Maxey, 44 minutes, 4 seconds. George Niang, 35 minutes, 51 seconds. I'd have to look up the last time George Niang ever played anywhere near 36 minutes in a basketball game outside of Iowa State. So, and I get it. I get it that Matisse Thybulle was in foul trouble with 5 fouls. And again, this is the second time we've seen this in 4 games now with Thybulle. And he's a great defender, but he plays defense a different way. All with arms and passing legs, sneaking up from behind on people. And he's getting some ticky-tack stuff. And it's not going to be easy for him. He's got to stay out of foul trouble for them. But the bench last night for the Sixers consisted of Isaiah Joe, DeAndre Jordan, and Shake Milton. Those 3 guys combined played 36 minutes and 45 seconds, just a shade more than George Niang. Rivers has no faith in this bench. And what the Nets did to them last week, the way they exposed that team, I think shook this team a little bit. Because we had said that day, Joe, I think we had that game on this show, that if they couldn't win that game on their home floor with James Harden not yet being guarded by Ben Simmons and having that advantage, then they're not going to beat the Nets. And in fact, the MVP for the Sixers right now, as far as a Brooklyn Nets matchup, might be Eric Adams, the mayor of New York City, who won't let Kyrie Irving play. He'll let him walk into the building with no mask and sit in the 3rd row amongst the population, but he won't let him play. I think Philly's in a little bit of trouble here tonight. The Nuggets come off a game on Saturday where they were winning 99-96 at the end of 3. And somehow, some way, give Toronto a ton of credit. Toronto beat Phoenix the night before, flew into altitude, and won the 4th quarter convincingly against Denver 34-16. They got 50 rebounds in that game, 23 offensive rebounds, just destroyed the Denver front court without Aaron Gordon. I anticipate Gordon does play tonight. That may have been a rest game for his foot, but I think Denver plus the points here, probably the way to go. I just thought, fatigue is going to set in on the Sixers. It's not as if Harden and Embiid have young legs. Maxey, yes, but they got young legs in the Denver backcourt as well with Morris and Highland and company. So I'm going to try the Nuggets here plus points.
All right, look at that. Denver, it is very strange, that rotation last night, Rob. I agree 100%. All right, let's move on to an overtime game where we'll focus on a total, and this one wasn't hard. One of the hottest teams, actually, in the NBA right now. Can I welcome in the Minnesota Timberwolves as they will be taking on the San Antonio Spurs? What's that? No defense? Yes, no defense. 237.5 is an open. Now at 241.5, and hell, that could go even further. And Rob Vino, when we say it's high for a reason, it's high for a reason. But is it just simply over or not for you at this point, even at 241.5?
I'm going to give you a number here, Joe, that I saw this morning, last 10 games, that almost sent me right to the rack for a second bottle of Santa Margarita because I couldn't believe it. The Timberwolves, in their last 10 games, are the number one team in the NBA in field goal percentage allowed. How in the world does Minnesota ever get to number one in any sample size in defense is beyond me, but they are. 43.2% allowed last 10 games. So you got to dig into the schedule. And, they're 8-2 against the spread last 10. That appears to have them red hot, playing excellent defense. But then when you go through that 10-game span, you find Orlando at Orlando. In fact, they lost that game. You find 2 against Oklahoma City. You find back-to-backs against Portland. You find a game at Cleveland without Darius Garland. And you find a home game against the Golden State Warriors where Golden State was in a pretty miserable funk. So 7 of those games, I don't know. I mean, they're good performances, but I don't know how much credence we can put into all of them. But the other 3, I think we have to put some credence into, right? They have victories over Miami and Memphis amongst those 3, and that's pretty impressive as well. So how real are the Timberwolves' defensive numbers? I'm not really sure. Where the Spurs are concerned, another interesting fact, they're 1-6, under the total in their last 7. And I don't know that it's because they're any different as a team, Joe. I don't know that they're any worse offensively looking at the numbers. I don't know that they're any better defensively looking at the numbers, but I'll tell you this. When you go through those last 7 games, you're going to find how much the odds makers have hiked up San Antonio totals. 5 of the last 7 games that they've played, between 236 and 243 were the closing totals. They hadn't played a game near 236 prior to this stretch. The highest they had gotten to was 231 in their previous 6. So you're going from a closing total of 231 all the way to 236, 243. And you're going to get some unders all of a sudden, right? We always talk about that red line or the line in the sand where is too much. And maybe San Antonio's found it. I could say this. They did play a 240 against Charlotte. I think it was 123, 117. And these 2 offenses have all the makings of getting up and over the total. But some of these red flags in front of me here today that I don't really know how to handicap: Minnesota's defensive improvement, San Antonio not touching these higher overs. Boy, I don't know. It's hard for me to say it, but I guess I'm going to have to lean with this one, just getting a shade under. I mean, even if they go 121, 119, that's not enough to cash a ticket. So let me side with under slightly here.
All right. Actually, looking the under, it was, I noticed on those last 10 graphics that we had up there for both of these teams, both Minnesota and San Antonio, Tony Mejia, those numbers look in the last 5 games. That's a lot of unders on the board for both of these teams here. So are we looking at a situation where the market is completely overvalued where both these teams are right now?
No, I would say that that's accurate, and especially given Rob did a nice job breaking it down. The teams that they faced, the Spurs are really high-scoring teams. They faced the Kings in that stretch, played no defense. They played the Hornets in that same stretch, same thing. The Grizzlies total was 240. They just got done playing Andy's Pacers. So I mean, these are teams not known for defense, and the numbers are still not getting there. There's still 4 in a row to the under, 6 out of the last 7 for the Spurs, and they scored only 90 points when they faced Minnesota. The only time that the 2 teams have dueled this season. But I'm big on personnel, obviously, as you know. I want to know if Patrick Beverley's playing. That would make a big difference to see if he could be disruptive against DeJounte Murray. And he's listed as questionable at the moment. For San Antonio, one of their for a team that is constantly given these high totals, they really don't shoot the ball well from 3-point land. So you kind of want to be a little bit leery of laying those high numbers and going over when you see a total this high, because Murray's not a shooter, Johnson's not a shooter, and their best shooter is Doug McDermott, and he is out tonight. So this would be an under or pass for me as well.
All right, look at that. Overtime, we're getting a couple of unders. I love it. How about you, Andy? You looking at anybody in particular from a prop betting perspective in this one with such a high number?
Yeah, two of them. I'm treading lightly on this one just because we don't know about Beverly and Edwards. Edwards looks probable, so I'm capping this game expecting him to play. Beverly, not really sure. He's got a bruised ear. I don't know if I've heard of that one before, but I hope his ear works out for him. There's a player prop I'd look at doing under D'Angelo Russell. He's not been shooting the ball well. His shot attempts are down. I'm sure that's just because they've got their majority of players, but the books have this total at 19.5. Here are his scoring totals: 14, 13, 6, 14, and 17. No game shooting over 45%. The last game, he got 13 shot attempts, only made 3 of them. He did get to free throw line. He's a really, really good free throw shooter, but the point total just doesn't match his recent production. So I also would expect a good game for Edwards, and Karl Anthony Towns should have a good game, even though he's really tough to trust him playing overs. He comes in a lot under, but he should have a good matchup. So I would expect Russell to be a facilitator as opposed to a scorer tonight. And then I think you got to look at DeJounte Murray over 23.5 points. He's been the darling of the prop world this year, gone over this total in 5 straight games, and Minnesota gives up 46 points a game to the guards position. He's just been fantastic. Should have a really, really nice matchup. No opinion on the total of the game, but like Rob was saying, if this gets to 238, it's going to come under, but that's still a ton of points. And if San Antonio is going to keep it close, it's going to be because of DeJounte Murray. So sprinkle on Murray over 23.5 points, even if Pat Bev plays.
All right, good stuff there, guys. And, of course, now we've got in the yonder, we've got a few dogs barking here tonight as well. Let's see what we got here, Robert.
That's my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog. And anybody got to say anything, you let me know. That's my dog.
All right, let me read these slowly here so Rob Bino can hear them, because Lord knows he can't read them. We've got the Clippers tonight in a dog spot. We got the Portland Trail Blazers. We got the Nuggets. We have the OKC Thunder, the Sacramento Spurs. We do have the Washington Wizards. We do have the Sacramento Kings, San Antonio Spurs, rather. Sacramento Kings, 6 1/2. They ain't winning. The Milwaukee Bucks are in a dog spot, as are, and I can't believe this, the Lakers are a dog. Who'd have thunk it here? So there is a lot of disgustingness on the board here. Talk to me, Tony Mejia. Which one of these are you making your dog tonight?
I am making the Milwaukee Bucks my dog, despite the fact that they were very disappointing the other night against the Warriors. And everybody knows Draymond Green is back tonight for Golden State. Might have slipped the radar that Brook Lopez will make his debut for the Milwaukee Bucks. So plenty to celebrate if you're the Milwaukee, considering he's like really the heart and soul of that team in terms of keeping everybody loose. So it'll be nice for the Bucks to have him back. And then the Jazz they probably do get Rudy Gobert back tonight, but he was a late scratch with a foot sprain. Currently has him listed as questionable. Again, I think that the word is that he will play, but if he's limited, that's obviously a big deal to Utah on both ends of the floor, given his rebounding and his defense. So I think Milwaukee's in a good bounce back spot here. Morale should be high despite the loss to the Warriors, and with Gobert not likely to be 100%, I think this is a good spot to take the points with the Bucks.
All right, liking the points here with the Milwaukee Bucks. I think Gobert did talk to media earlier and said his foot feels good. He's planning on going, which I guess Rob Vito may explain the line shift from opening up with the Bucks as a favorite to now the Bucks as a dog. So which one of these are you looking at for a dog tonight, Rob Vino?
I'd say earlier in the day, Joe, if we had done the show maybe around noon East, I probably would have looked at the Clippers plus the points against Cleveland. But the announcement at that point where Reggie Jackson wasn't going to play kind of takes you out of that. Clippers, um, a pretty sizable backcourt advantage if Jackson had gone, but without him, I don't like that. So I'm going to go back and just double down on what I said earlier with the Denver Nuggets. I just see this as a game where Philadelphia, maybe not first half, but second half, fourth quarter, shows the signs of fatigue that would be evident of four guys who got run into the ground for 40-plus minutes last night. And Denver's got the weapons to take advantage. When Jokic isn't on the floor here, for Embiid, it doesn't get all that much simpler if he's still on the floor because DeMarcus Cousins has played pretty well for Denver since he's hit the floor for that team. His legs look pretty fresh every time I see him. So usually Joel Embiid is the one thing that Philadelphia has that you don't. And this is that one team that also has an MVP center where maybe the plus minus scoring wise between Embiid and his counterpart just isn't what it usually is. So give me Denver plus the 3. I think they have all the extra parts, plus they have the rest. I'll take the Nuggets plus.
Taking the Nuggets plus. I think Marcus Morris out also. Covington not there also for the Clippers. So no word on whether or not Karis LeVert might be able to return for the Cavs, but keeping an eye on that. Denver Nuggets, though, that's where Rob Vino is looking to get it done. How about you, Andy? A lot of dogs on this card. Anybody in the prop betting market considered a dog as well?
Yeah, Jay Crowder not playing the fourth quarter and missing his point total by half was a dog last night because of the blowout, if that counts. But also, no, but I am going to go with the Clippers. Shout out to Rob Vino by using Reggie Jackson as a reason to not take my dog, but then using DeMarcus Cousins as a reason to take his. So
damn.
So, well, listen,
little more, Joe.
Well, all right, listen, the Clippers are 6-3-1 ATS their last 10. Cleveland's 3-7. Cleveland lost their last 2 games to Chicago and Miami by double digits, and their lack of depth is really starting to show. I mean, Markkanen and Wade are game time decisions, and that's like important. That's where Cleveland is right now. It's like, oh man, I hope we have Markkanen and Dean Wade to go up against the Clippers. Mobley's been playing well since Allen went out. Can't argue with that, but Vucevic absolutely got the better of him on Saturday. I think Zubac can be a problem for him tonight, and then you're just left with Darius Garland. I think the point spread is just a little bit too much. I just don't think this Cleveland team that put up 91 points last game should be a 7-point favorite over this Clippers team. So give me the Clippers and the points.
Damn. Got ugly, Rob. I'm sorry about that. All right, let's do it. Time for some best bets. All right, here we go. 60 seconds on the clock. These guys can do whatever the hell they want with it as long as they give us a best bet here. So talk to us, Rob Vino. Start us off. Take a few shots at Andy. Nobody would blame you. And give us a best bet, my man. Where are you going tonight, Vino?
I don't think he was trying to take shots at me, but DeMarcus Cousins was about the 15th reason why I said take the Nuggets. He wasn't the first. I'm going to go and take a double-digit favorite tonight here, Joe, and play the Charlotte Hornets minus the price against the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Oklahoma City Thunder very quickly over the course of the last 10 games, 28th in field goal percentage allowed, 26th in three-point percentage allowed, dead last in points allowed, allowing 125.5 per game. It's basically a G League lineup. It's been that way for a while. We've talked about it. Charlotte in a little bit of a scramble mode to win games. This is one that's winnable. And they put up 142 their last time out. One thing about the Oklahoma City Thunder, they're number one in pace of all NBA teams over the last 10. Charlotte loves to play a team that wants to play up tempo. Give me the Hornets minus 11.5 here. I think they'll win by that and more.
Love it. All right. The shits and giggles with Texas Southern, but that's a different show. Go ahead, Tony Mejia. Talk to us here, my man. What you got tonight?
All right. Well, we got the Wizards going back to Cali like LL Cool J, and they should have never left, considering what happened to them in Portland. They basically weren't there, and now they're in San Francisco to face the Warriors, where they will run into Draymond Green, who makes his return from a back issue for the first time in months. And I think Golden State has gotten out of their funk now after losing to the Lakers and the Nuggets last week. They got revenge against the Nuggets earlier last weekend, and then come off that big win on Saturday over the Bucks. So they look like they're in place. I like them to win the first half convincingly over Washington. You're laying 6.5. With Draymond in the mix, and the one caveat is that Andrew Wiggins may not play. He's got some sort of illness going on, but I still like, with or without him, the Warriors be taking care of business by halftime against the Wizards. So lay the points 6.5, 7 with Golden State, and come see us at the meet and greet. I don't see us at the meet and greet on Friday, everybody, in Vegas with Joe Raineri.
So I do believe, much like Big Daddy Kane, expecting Golden State to get the job done here tonight. Talk to us, Andy Lang. Come on. Where are you going here? 60 seconds.
Well, of course I'm going to go with a Thunder play. Why not? Why not go? So, 5% play is up at WagerTalk.com. Go grab that. Also, Steph Curry's birthday. So you get a Steph Curry who's celebrating. I'm going to go with a guy who's just been incredible on the stat sheet, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I'm going to take his over points, rebounds, and assists, 41.5. You have to at this point. It's an auto play. So he had the horrible game against Minnesota where he scored 8 points, 3 rebounds, 8 assists. But since he's returned from injury, that's the only game he scored less than 31 points in. He's gone over this total in 9 out of 11 games, and a lot of them he is flying over this total. He is the only one on that team doing anything remotely productive. It's just kind of like a lack of options. He's getting a ton of shot attempts. He's getting the assists. He's getting the rebounds. Charlotte's bottom 10 defeating guards. Give me SGA.
Thought we were going to get another obscure 90s reference there to some rapper. Here we go. Oh, no, we don't, do we? Oh, we do. All right, let me get the music ready. Here we go. All right. It is time for the return of the John Ryan angle of the day. John Ryan over at sportsmemo.com. We love when he sends these over to us. Let's check it out. He is going to be saying here, John's angle is that we want to bet on teams that are revenging a loss as a 6.5-point home favorite. And if that team is coming off an upset home loss, and of course the Nuggets did lose to the 76ers 103-89, they were a 7.5-point favorite back on November 18th. Well, the Nuggets were also coming off a 12-point loss to the Raptors as, you guessed it, a 6.5-point favorite in their previous game. So when you put it all together, 42-21 straight up, 41-22 against the spread. That is 65.1% over the last 5 seasons. I believe we are looking at the Nuggets here tonight with John Ryan's angle of the day. All right, John, appreciate that. Thank you very much. I was guessing there because there was a lot of shit with the 6.5 back in November. So here we go with the recap here one more time. Andy Lang, he likes the Clippers. He's taken the points mostly because Rob Vino had the nerve to bring up DeMarcus Cousins. We also have a best bet of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. We're going to go over everything, mostly because he is everything to that team. So over, and more over on his points, rebounds, and assists. While Tony Mejia, he thinks Brook Lopez is the answer to the Bucks and that 2.5 points. He's going to grab it for his dog. His best bet, though, as Big Daddy Kane would say, the Warriors are getting the job done, especially in the first half. Lay the 6.5. While Rob Vino, Yep, he's going Nuggets +3 tonight against his 76ers. He's not buying the James Harden era. And the best bet tonight, though, go with the Hornets. Lay it, lay it, lay it. Why? Because they're basically playing Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, and that's it. And our contrarian play of the day is going to be, and I know it's disgusting, it is ugly, it stinks, and it is the Trailblazers getting 2 touchdowns tonight in their matchup against who? The Atlanta Hawks. It is $9 Monday, guys, so do not forget, best bets are $9 right now. So you got Andy Lang, you got his bets locked and loaded. Tony Mejia ready to go, 4% best bet in the association. Rob Vino, he too has his plays ready to rock, including any of the college basketball games that might be posted up there. $9, guys. It's the best part about $9 Monday. Partner up with these guys here. Go grab some of the best bets here, and let's make it a profitable Monday to start what is going to be a bonkers week on the hardwood. Not only in college hoops, guys, but of course, the NBA. It's a big week around the horn. Head over there, WagerTalk.com. And on behalf of Andy Lang, Tony Mejia, and Rob Vino, guys, we appreciate the time. Hit that bell in the upper right-hand corner. And don't forget, come back and join us. Make sure you do hit the subscribe button, too. And come back and join us again tomorrow. Another round of NBA games. We've got you covered here. So until then, best of luck with your plays tonight, guys. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. Good luck.
Each and every Monday is $9 Monday at both WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, when all daily picks packages are priced at only $9, including 5% best bets, normally priced at $35. As an added bonus, any picks packages loaded early for Overnight Tuesday or action during the week will also be priced at $9 until midnight on Monday. So make sure to take advantage of getting these $25 and $35 picks for only $9 before the clock strikes 12 and they return to regular price.